Well, I joined the army in 1994 and I actually needed to put a bit of weight on to get into the army. So I started getting into the gym and exercising. I was playing football at West Lakes Football Club, started running, and then I joined the army. And I've always been active, and to go along with active, I've always had healthy eating. I've always sort of had that within our lifestyle. Eating well, shopping, exercising, being active and having an active lifestyle. We've had dogs and we're always taking the dog down to the beach, or when we're going on a holiday that involves going for walks and bike riding and exercising. It's just part of my routine. Get up in the morning, go to gym, and then in the afternoon we might go for a walk or something like that. Just being active all the time. It's just good, just part of the lifestyle. Actually, I was laying in bed. I just was rubbing under my armpit and I just felt what felt like a bit of a fatty lump. And then probably a couple of days later, it was still there. And I went to the doctor and he said, this thing is maybe a bit of a sweat gland or a bit of a fatty lump just close to the skin. So he said, I don't think there's anything to worry about. And then I sort of noticed a few days later that it was still sort of there, and then it was probably about a month later it was still there. So I went back and said, look, I'm not comfortable with this. Can we do something? He said, well, I'll send you for an ultrasound. So it went for an ultrasound and then they checked it out and said, no, all clear, nothing wrong with it. It's just a bit of an anomaly. Probably about another couple of months and it was still there and I was still bothered by it. And so he said, what we can do is give you a blood test. It'll put it to bed, you don't have to worry about it. So he gave me a blood test, all clear, you're fine, that sort of stuff. And then at that time, I was getting some pins and needles in my feet and my hands, was doing a football training session, had a head knock. So I went and got that checked out. And through that process with some MRIs, I found I had a large tumour in my spine, epidymoma. But every time I was scanned and had ultrasounds or MRIs, my lymph glands were up all through my abdomen all the time. So I had to have pretty quick surgery on that because otherwise I wouldn't be able to walk. As a result of that, some further scans were come through and my lymph glands were up again. They said the only way to confirm that you don't have lymphoma is to get a biopsy. So I went and had a biopsy and then it was definitely confirmed that I had it. You know your own body. If something doesn't feel right, get it checked out. When I was diagnosed, could have been handled a bit better. So we were shocked, went through the emotions, and then basically we didn't get a great deal of information from the first haematologist I saw. So we left, jumped straight on the internet, did some searching. LIFT was one of the support services, wrote that down, and then started researching haematologist, new treatment centre. And then I saw the treatment centre and it was aligned with the LIFT that I was interested in attending. And then when we came to the treatment centre, it was in with the induction. I went, excellent, it's aligned with where I may go. And then we came down and did an induction and that's where we saw it all together. The first cycle wasn't too bad because you're starting at 100%. And then the second, a little bit more fatigued, and then the third cycle was a little bit harder. The fourth and fifth cycle was the worst. The last cycle, actually, I sort of started feeling a bit better. But the fourth and fifth one was the hardest one. When we did the induction at the treatment centre, we already had planned for LIFT and we were scheduled in. I knew how important exercise medicine was to the efficacy of the treatment. I was concerned that I would lose my fitness. I didn't want to be at home watching TV. Being active and fit was such a part of my normal routine. I wanted to maintain some normalcy. For mental health as well, I wanted to be out doing stuff if I could, if I was capable of doing stuff. It made a difference. I would come in here some days, especially in the middle of the treatment, and you'd be fatigued, you'd have brain fog, you'd be fuzzy. You just wanted to stay in bed. And you knew if you came in here and you got past that, as soon as you got on the machines, you talked to the people, you had a bit of a chat, you got working, and the staff knew that once you sort of got moving with a bit of encouragement, you'd leave and you go, I feel so much better, I'm feeling good, my head's clear, I can actually do some stuff now in much better mental and physical space than what I was before. Seeing the doctor first actually surprised me because the checklist you go through is very thorough, reassuring that you actually get so much input. And it's not like a personal training session where it's like, okay, let's get some big weights and let's smash them weights. Oh, you're going to do it, one more rep, you're great. I don't want to hear that. I want to be supportive because I'm not feeling great today and I'm made out of paper mache and rubber bands today and I just need to be supported to get through this. It's about how do you feel today, how are you mentally, What are your symptoms? Are you fatigued? How's your body feeling? Do you have pins and needles in your legs? Do you have pins and needles in your fingers? How are your side effects? How you manage them? How's your treatment going? Do you feel like you're up to some exercise today? Yes. And that was passed on to the exercise physiologists. They would take that into the exercise area, and that was transferred into your exercise program. And it wasn't just like a normal PT where they'd be pushing you. It was like, let's warm up, how are you feeling? You'd always be in consultation, monitoring. You would be introduced to a partner, anyone in the area, so you'd feel included. It was really nice where you could exercise at your own pace and you go, oh, actually, I'm feeling really good now. This is good. My blood's flowing, I'm up and going in an area where I could do it confidently, and I'm not going to be pushed somewhere where I don't want to go. So all that well-being that came from that consultation to begin with. Previously I went to a public gym. Hygiene was minimal there. But here it was, you've got your cytotoxic wipes, you've got your special wipes, everything's cleaned. You get a induction on how you as a user are to use them, and when you wipe down the machine and where the wipes go and why you're doing it, what's the purpose of it, and how you're looking after yourself, but also you're looking after others there as well. So I'm playing my part here, and I'm playing my part in other people's well-being as well. So the cleanliness and hygiene here, this is the only place I'd go. It was here and home. And that were the only places I'd go, especially being concerned about getting ill. And I was totally confident in being here and being safe in this area. I was really cautious to begin with. I was worried that I would break myself, and I didn't really know what would happen. And I remember the first visit here, because I knew my heart rates and how hard I worked. And I came here and they said, I know you can work up to 130 beats per minute. And I went, I can, and I'm going to be all right. That's excellent. So that's the sort of stuff that really encouraged me. If there's anything I can mention to people is that exercise medicine was vital. It's the number one thing I recommend to anyone. And I've had several people, once they know you've had cancer, they come to you on the quiet and they say, oh, I'm just about to start treatment. Do you have any recommendations? And the number one thing I say is exercise during treatment is the number one thing I could pass on.